Hello, how everything is going? How you doing? Go ahead, you can tell me. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I believe that they're testing me to check my English and they wanna gossip about my financial situation. They have a different husband for the subject. Every year they get a different husband for the subject. They not just only want to kill me. They are trying to make fun of me, make fun of my own self. But let's go straight to business, okay? Okay, go ahead. You tell me. What's the name again? Oh, ma'am, I'm not allowed to talk about that name. He already said that he doesn't want to get involved, and they spelled his name wrong. No, I'm not allowed to ask him for credit situation status one more time thing. Okay, okay, let's move on. Next question. Oh, okay. No, I'm not allowed to go there either. Yes, that's positive. His family. It's they're lawyers. They deal with law. What else? There was a random party. What else? Okay. Now I'm trapped in Brazil, and they're keeping me here for like money washing, trafficking, family BS, and many other crimes. Yeah, no, the police are just watching because they are trying to build like a website or something, or they're trying to better themselves too by keeping me trapped. No, I haven't fled yet because I haven't figured out about the food situation. Because when you commit to leave a country, you have to worry about the food and how you're gonna make stops and stuff. Okay, next question, ma'am. Okay, still no answer. I'm not allowed to mention their names on the internet and stuff. Okay, that one, it's we're gonna let's not talk about that one. What else? Okay, custom service. You want to talk about cars or motorcycle? Okay, let's start with cars then. Okay, cars. There's a very nice fine boy in South San Francisco, Audi dealership. He's by SFO, very polite boy. He's very nice. He used to do like run the whole dealership in there. They have details, mileage, checking stuff, balance, change oils, everything is like 5 star. Okay, that's like the best so far. And then we have a couple more in Mercedes RAB Motors in San Rafael, California. It's by 101 freeway. Yeah, I don't know names, but there's a boy in there that he does car wash. Very polite, very like you can ask him anything, he will do for you. Okay, let's move on. Bike now then. Motorcycle. There's a very nice one in if I'm not wrong, Hyde Street on San Francisco. Probably it's Hyde between Van Ness Street and Polk Street. There's a very nice very nice man in there, a very nice gentleman in there that he does like a motorcycle mileage checking, very polite. Usually he wears boots. I don't know his name, but it's like one of the best so far for motorcycle. Okay, so it's a Hyde Street, HYDE Street, between Van Ness Street and Polk Street, San Francisco, California. That's motorcycle, sport bikes, and some part of Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson are located in Court Madeira, but I don't think we have this. I don't think they want it to be bogged. They're very strict. They don't want to be bogged. Usually you find them through the website, which it gets into catalogs of sales report of United States sales report catalogs. Still the conversation open about like worldwide website sales for family and stuff. I put them into www.amazon.com. I heard about something about org, but I'm not sure about org. I just know I just put .com. Okay, ma'am, let's move on. So Rich American families are into Amazon, and then there's like a couple little competitions here and there, but it's like usually from China. So it's only if you really want the different product, then you might do that. But they are kind of like the only ones serving from out of United States. Brazil, it's very strict right now. It's not many things coming to Brazil. It's making very difficult for us to deal with shipment. Probably it's because the conversation of dealerships and delivery and all the sources of it, it's still open. FedEx is more serious about it, but there is a gap between Corporate Express and the rest of the competition. So for United States, San Francisco, that's good because we can have competition and provide the best customer service, but in South America it's very difficult when we don't have not even one. So cars, we spoke about, motorcycle, we spoke about delivery, we spoke about jobs. Internet in the United States is 100% 5-star, and you can just go online and you get a job. Like I've been unemployed for 10 years since I felt like a setup from the United States, from San Francisco, California. They set my life for failure. Maybe that's how they build life and build empires, by putting people like me to as the prey of the hunting thing. But anyways, now South American, I don't see any job working out, or if there is jobs, they are being racist, or they are being like they're separating things. They're not giving jobs for anyone. It's not every single person that has the same rights and stuff. So I think that if you want to be a billionaire overnight, you wanna stick with jobs and like invest in jobs and stuff. I think $2 million. This advice I won't charge you. Just keep on helping me, keep feeding myself and not to get killed in Brazil randomly. I will keep giving you advices. With just $2 million, $2 million, you can like start a very low budget. We call consultation store, staff consultation office. Usually it's run by Mac, whatever his actor is. He's the one like on top of that. He's kind of like checking all over the place. That's how I got to know that he was in there. I think, in my personal opinion, that he is the one interested on that. I don't think I make part of anything on that in that field, because otherwise they would have invited me in. Or unless I sell a car there, which they not even give me personal credit. How am I gonna get into a car dealership? But if I would sell a car there, or if Hollywood would help me to get fake sales stuff, maybe they would invite me in to be like there. But I think that's not the main thing. I think the main thing is to put a guy with a white t-shirt in there that wants to be like a Hollywood star and stuff. We call that galã in Portuguese. And then he holds the world, holds the economy, and then why he can like can mess with people's life, mess with the real deal of money flow of regular people like me. So moving on out of Hollywood and movie star stuff that broke our money flow and broke our system, broke everything, broke my dreams, took my assets, and put fake lawyers here and there to do taxations and make people move out of the way, put people steal houses and stuff, and then later on say that because there's money, bank fraud and stuff. None of that it's true. Everything is a setup. So if we had enough people or a very like powerful leader that can speak for us in public, almost getting closer to the verb, something that I haven't seen yet, because usually the verb in American is always talking about the Constitution and blah 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 of like how they invaded, how they did it, and then usually they end up putting like a hot blonde woman to take over everything again, and then we go right back to the spot. So 2 million, it's a way for you to become millionaire overnight. You would need a couple. This is the line of thought that I had in the United States before they destroyed my life. I had an opportunity in a Dell computer, and then I thought that was very interested, but I wasn't aware of thought suggestion yet, or thought thought-provoking and stuff. So I thought that was an angel that was giving me this information. But back in the day, I saw for the first time the computer. It's called Dell Alien. It's very nice. It's most of it to deal with games for kids and stuff, and teenagers or grown men that cannot get enough of games. It's called Alien Dell computer. It's very nice, very powerful. You don't have to buy that type of computer, that type of laptop. You can just buy regular cheap PC computer, desktop computer, rent a space, and then put desks and computers in there. You can teach English. I tried to do this, but they cut me off. They are trying to keep me out of work so that they can like demand and suggest me stuff so that I can go and make it. People that are suggesting thoughts to me, they don't want to get burned. They don't want their image to get burned. They don't want it to look ugly or funny or anything like this and lose their shot or to whoever they are trying to fake or steal from. So they send people like me to complain about our private personal life, and then they hit little things here and there, little headed messages, and I think this is kind of stupid. So I'm gonna move on the advices to you American people. So 2 million, you can start a consultation business job thing. Your job apps are like really, it's not worth anything. There's zillions of people sit on behind the desks making like job apps and stuff, but you're really not hiring anybody. And then whoever regular people that are trying to really work and really get to travel and everything, they're pushing, they're asking questions about like what's your career, are you an engineer and stuff. But if you're an engineer, you wouldn't be looking for a job in the regular basis of internet. You would always have someone to indicate you. So it's stupid for you to even ask me if I'm an engineer. The whole reason why I'm looking for a job and not studying for a career and keep on working on my career, it's because you people bully me on school and everywhere I go. So that's why irregular people are working regular jobs, which we end up always paying more than you in taxation so that the rich can overcome us in any type of tryouts that we have. So if you want to be rich overnight, start off like a company of $2 million. You're gonna make. You don't have to have $2 million, couple $100,000. You will still make it, but this should be like accurate about the situation. 2 million. Each apps, if a regular person creates an app, for example, all the apps that are $1 billion. Made $1 billion in the United States, they haven't get to Brazil yet. If they got in Brazil, I'm not aware of it, and probably the soap operas are the only one making money out of it and giving little bit by little to the poor people in the ghetto and the favelas in Brazil, so that we always keep not making any. When I was in the United States, Americans, they never kept me from making money just because I was poor or came from a poor family. But unfortunately, Brazilians, they acted before me, and gold diggers and satanic stalkers. They turned me in before I even understand the job. They ran me out of energy in FedEx. When I couldn't take it anymore, they destroyed my entire life. But for you that are American, when I was there, I met a lot of good folks. They're very like people. They are honest. For example, like I met the editor of a book, a lady that I used to deliver to in Sausalito. Back in the day, she was writing a book. I never gave that much greetings to books or care much about books until I met John Clark, and not met, but like really got to know John Clark, my uncle, and the things that he used to read. And so I started reading. He gave me a couple of books that really made my life change. So that's how I started loving books so much. Now I think that one book can be more viral than a $400,000 house and stuff. For me, that's my opinion now. I wouldn't change some books that I have. I don't want to talk about it. Otherwise, the thieves will steal from me just to prove a point. And sometimes it's stupid because the books is out there for sale, and you don't sell, you don't help me to sell, and you still want to steal mine. It's weird and crazy. So anyways, let's move on. The $2 million consultation one time, I don't have any channel because I'm poor and I don't have the equipment, so I'm sending to you the information that way. I'm being followed by Brazilian gold diggers. I get threatened by people that they wish to be my bully guys, because if they try to bully me, I'll destroy him right in the spot. But they keep on sending like threats and here and there, and sometimes when that threats doesn't work, they make body reposition so that my body start feeling bad, and so that they can laugh behind my back and say that I'm scared of their threats and stuff. It's hilarious. We don't want to go in there, but whatever. $2 million, you can like just take over. When I say you can take over Brazil, I'm not saying that you're gonna walk in here and just start killing everybody like Hitler. I'm saying that the field is open for you, that you can do whatever you want to do, because they don't give me the field. So you, the Americans, I might make some out of what you create, because I seen you work and I know you can do it. So the apps, if you know, I know a lot of ideas about apps, but they are not allowing me to do. And the guys that are capable to do apps, they're a bunch of kids and teenagers. They are just waiting for me to say what I want to do in the internet, or maybe they are scared of saying that they already hacked my ideas and they are trying to destroy my image first before they present what they already stole it from me. I'm tired to look at the internet and everywhere else and see a lot of things that are mine and they are there. People take for granted, they stole it from me, and they take for granted, they use, they abuse, then they just throw out there like for satanic savages and all the weird creatures that life creates to make us fight to. You know, all those creatures that are out there. For me, you're a creature. You're not hot. It's not just because you buff and then you live 24/7 in the gym and you bought a pit bull and you make this ugly face. For me, you think you scare me. For me, you're a creature. You're a creature. You're not following anybody. You're just positioned in somewhere. You're trying to steal all kind of desires of everyone, and then you want to position yourself in there to scare people. You don't scare me. Your pit bull doesn't scare me. You know, it's weird. You guys just creatures for me. So going back to the subject, apps. There's a lot of views on apps. Now I see a lot of kids taking for granted this opportunity of having apps. But first of all, before we talk about apps, I want you to understand what I'm saying. The Brazilians, they are there to prove that what I'm saying is everything wrong. They give everything to anyone but me. So everyone get motorcycle, get expensive cars, get jobs, get women, go to porn, do everything so that I look bad towards every other person or society. I'm sure that deep down inside of like the universe of Earth and planet Earth, there is someone that it's legit. It's not like the rest of Brazilians in the world and life is scammers. That you are there and you hear me and you listen to me. I've been in your house. I walked inside your house. I lived inside your house. I cleaned your house. I delivered to you. I know the drill. I know where you're going. I know what you're trying to do. I know how your business works. I don't dare to try to steal from you because I'm gonna look ugly. Because if I was rich, maybe I would copy so many beautiful things that Americans do. It's beautiful. But still to steal, no. I try to communicate with a lot of people from San Francisco, California, but I only can do by headed message. I cannot call it up someone straight ahead. Even if the person, their business really doesn't look good, I cannot just call them and start like lecture them about their own business. I can't. I have to sit here and wait for God's grace and some gifts. For example, I have 2 phones. I have 3 phones. 3 phones on me. One doesn't work, one is speed up and stuff. Everything makes it's difficult in Brazil for us. If we were in the United States, I would resolve this in 2 days. 2 days I would just go there, pop, pop, boom. When I was in the United States, I realized that women start taking over all the business. They start taking over like restaurants, they start taking over companies and stuff, and then they start pretending, saying the public that custom service did that. No, that's wrong. The women are taking over all the business, all the work, all the real estate, all the banks, all everything. They're positioned on banks and stuff, and then they're gonna put only hot guys so that they can go and fuck as many times they want. And then just when they get enough of guys, hot guys from the internet and gold diggers, they're gonna start fucking with army guys. They are being prepared just for this purpose. And then some part of them, it's celebrities. Celebrities, they are all in this together in the mass of money washing. They communicate in a different way. They communicate from back and forth. They exchange monies and assets to each other just by the blink of their eyes. They blink it to each other. They have codes with each other mentally. They give each other's houses. Whenever one lose one thing, another just deposit. That's why they have West banks. They have so many money transferred, just like they transfer human beings information. So I'm here to tell you that you are thieves, you are liars, you destroyed my life, and I'm not gonna do the same to you, because like I said, I believe that in the end of the world it's gonna be a blast for me, and I'm not gonna do the same. I'm not just gonna sit here and tell you all the secrets about you guys, how you guys did. I know even how FedEx started. I know all of that. And I'm sure someone's just gonna be like, just to contradict myself, they're like, oh, whatever he does, let's just do the opposite. But it's okay. I don't want to go negative. I'm working now about, for example, painting, right? I'm doing painting now. But then I'm in a savage country. How am I gonna do painting here? To do painting, you have to be in a good terms with people, with your friends. People would come and enjoy your painting, your setup stuff. I don't have that in Brazil, because now they're trying to attack me. Some of them are trying to kill me, and people are not really taking this serious. And you can tell, like, as I'm speaking to you, they're already invading my video, and they're making like stuff in my video. They do this, they change what I say. When I was in the United States, they used to send people to speak to me using someone else's name. They have people that copy other people's voices, they copy our image, they clone us, they do everything. Most of the guys, they're gays. Most of the guys, they're like guys that have low self-esteem, and they are there to destroy guys that don't have low self-esteem. And here I am pretending to be a telemarket guy, because, you know, if you know, I know that the cops will try to take over telemarket. So I'm here to tell you that I bet not, but that's what cops are trying to do. I'm looking at different a book here. It's about Batman, and it's so funny because Batman, he knows that the entire. It's just like in Brazil we call Kiko. Kiko knew everything, just like Batman. Batman knew everything that they were setting up when we were young. Like on my young times, when I was very young, Batman and all the criminals, and we call him Charada, but it's like the Joker. They knew everything that they were doing against us, and they had like a pretending court. And because many of us, probably maybe only me, I did not know people communicate and decide life through the mind and through the thoughts. They used me in this fake courts, and the fake courts is so dumb that we have the presidents, and they have fake courts. The court actually exists back in the days on our ancestors. But when they talk about ancestors, Americans always use a racism way of bringing racism into this conversation, so that regular people have to take themselves, leave themselves, like flee themselves, and not believed to be a part of like life conversation, which is like all the ancestors, they are everyone, just like Jesus. That the circle of Jesus is for everyone. It's just a timeline. It's like, what are you talking about? I can make a circle of economic circle right now if I want to, if I had the crew, if I have the producers, if I didn't have like this many family and strangers and fake friends stalking me 24/7, yapping and speaking loud about their own thoughts against myself so that I can hear, and I get confused. I go like, did you just said that? You know, like people are just, my family are doing this to me right now. For example, my sister, she had several husbands, and each husband, she had like couple children with it, and then they bring this children to my mom's house, where I live right now after my divorce. And then these children, when they're kids, we enjoy each other, and then when they grow up, I have to deal with them yapping at me by the things that my family tell them that happen in life, and all the bullshit that happened from my family in the United States, in Brazil, they're putting through these children into me, which is like her first husband was about Santa Lucia, the place where I grew up, and in San Francisco, California, people's mind, it's called the karma. It's where they always threaten me about life and stuff. It's descendants of Indian stuff. Instead of creating their own courts and pushing their kids to become like lawyers, by now we would be in court having fun with each other, arguing about like stupid things, who owned this, who owned that, and then having fun and a blast with each other. They decide, instead of deciding that way to build and do like our ancestors, they decide to separate people from each other. And then they made a lot of people that were truly in love with each other, because so many people, they not even knew how to think when you're in love. If you're in love, I can give you this gift if you want. I just think it's too personal to teach anyone out there, and people might take it for granted. And we shouldn't give this much information, precious information, to people that just will spit on us. So instead of like just like creating their own courts in each ghetto and stuff, and then having a blast when the children grow up, and then we can just work our minds, to spend and stuff, and then see where we went wrong. And also, I don't want to blame my family, because my family is way too simple. The subject's so heavy. Like our ancestors, what they used to talk about was a way beyond what human beings do now. Now they use like one amazing goddess, blonde, to hold time and hold economy, and to give stupid orders here and there, like to destroy lives like mine, which I was just an ordinary guy. If I knew blondes were this powerful before, I would never had ever had a guy involved with you, a blonde, just to lose all my assets, my opportunities of life. But at least now I know who runs the jobs, and where and why all men are trying to kiss ass for, to impress who they're trying to impress, what they're trying to achieve. Before, I thought we were all working towards like to gain life and become rich and get assets and help our neighbors, and following the books, what the books say. You show me your weapons, you show me your gifts, you show me your bling blings and stuff, whatever it is, and then we make exchange. If we did not know the existence of money, which now we do have money, we do have the existence of money. So I don't know why savage countries, they don't do this. They don't take advantage of it, and they only use guns and try to threaten others to kill. But when I get weapons, they tell the cops that I'm armed because I'm dangerous, I'm this and that. So why are they the only ones? For me, it's BS. Women, they feel men through me and through others. That's, for me, in my opinion, I don't think it's all the source of homosexuals, but I think like women feel men that they're out of their leagues through other men, especially teenagers and children. When they cannot get a man, they start feeling men through me and through other people. They are their targets. And then some men, they give up on being men because it's too much torture. It's always constantly in our private space, in our personal space. If you want, I can go more precise and explain everything. Even, people pressure me to explain this. I don't get paid to teach you science and math and stuff in here. I'm really bad in math, by the way. Not to mention that I'm always alone. Excuse me. I know a lot about French math, though, which I might not even know, but I claim to know.
WhatsApp.
But this is what I see. When I watch movies back in the day, I can understand now more precisely that the reason why women and many other people did what they did was to shut men off. They don't want men to speak what they have in their hearts and what they made out of their books. Each of us reading a book or seeing a magazine or a movie or having a very good experience with a person or whatever, we will have like a, we call in Brazil resumo. I don't know how you say in English. I might look it up, but it's called resumo in Portuguese. It's like you take a book and then you read, and then you take the best of that book in few words, and then you present to others, like maybe in a poem, maybe in a song, or maybe in your own words, but by using your own opinion. But now they use our opinion as a free survey, which before they used to pay us to give them surveys about internet, about everything else. But sometimes I think they do this because Americans already fled. I'm not even allowed to talk about where they're fleeing to, or why they're fleeing, and how they flee. But many times I try to alert people, like several years ago, I tried to tell people, look, this is wrong, the world's not going to end. You should not waste credit cards and bank credits, things that I could be using to buy survivor stuff, which is like, the world's not going to end. So now we have several women that are trapped into bills, bank bills, and so many other things that they create to buy bills, debt. D-E-B-T, debt in banks to become accumulators, and their houses are full of things. Sometimes when I look at those shows, I think it's funny, and I think it's a funny show, but it's not funny. That woman, she's trapped into a huge bill of debt in banks because the government, fake news, almost ordered her in express orders, through the thoughts and through fake news, which before we did not believe that. We did not know that those things were fake news. We used to believe that that was the truth, which is not. It's just a bunch of guys, college guys on the suits, working on their way of speak fast and things from books and from internet material. So they bought many things from credit cards, and they jammed their houses with like crap and stuff. It was not even what they were supposed to buy. They're supposed to buy a lot of water, put extra water in their houses, and pay a architect to build like things for, if the world would end, they would have resources for food and water, not destroy their credit with what they did. But this is what they did, and so let's move on. Then they exercise laws with me on cab driver. They exercise law. They stole a lot of survey from me, from cab driver. What I would think about cab drivers, what I would think about like the American surroundings, American streets, American cops, American tickets, how cops approach each other, how cops don't approach, and all this bullshit that they have in America was a product of like a exercise that they were working to study their future wise, which old man kind of like stole it from me. Instead of coming in, if I was the chief of police, instead of getting a black man with a mustache that plays the chief of police to harass me in the street and harass me about a ticket, I would come in with a suit, detective suit, and I would say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? So and so. Okay, good. I've been observing you. You work in a cab. Oh, good. Yeah. May I talk to you? Would you like to have a coffee? There's a Starbucks right on the corner. Let's go have a conversation. So we would go there. We would sit. If I was him, I would say, don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. And then we would sit in the table, and I would start talking with me. I was like a dreamer back then. Now I can't believe in nobody. I'll just start talking if I was curious, instead of harassing people and creating fake news, fake tickets and stuff to destroy my life, taking my assets from me and everything, or maybe harassing and stalking my wife to make us like break up and stuff, or even probably all the women that I had and slept with was all suggestion by you got punks that observe me here and there. I think so. Or maybe to entertain many of my families that they love to see me fall. I just don't understand. I never knew. Back in the day, I thought my family would die for me. I never saw until I caught my family making fun of me. Then that's when my face fell and I saw the truth of life. I wasn't that protected. I wasn't that important. So then I would ask myself everything about it instead of harassing. then I would move on. I would get like Facebook ask, say, get a person that you can trust. You guys connect your accounts from Facebook. You help him. Nicole Kulevani, very nice girl. I would really do her. She looks extremely tasty. But I had a person in my mind all the time. I don't know if we will connect, but it was just can't get away. She's still there. You just can't get away. Probably she's already a hooker on some red light district somewhere in the world in her crash pads. But my subconscious still have the love that I used to have for my own wife. I don't know what Americans create to do all this, on how much they gain to create this, to create Nicole Kulevon, Nicole Place, Jesse, and all the subjects that they send towards me. I wouldn't do like this if I was the leader. I think every single person has the same rights. And if you are old and if you don't look hot, if you want to get into a conversation, if you want to learn how to pick up women, and if you want to use teenagers to do that just to look good, I think you should watch. I'll give you advice if you're a cop and if you're a police chief out there, and I know you watch me, I know you know my existence. Watch movies from the 40s. Don't pay attention to your own bald head. We only pay attention in your bald head when you feel low self-esteem. When you adjust you, we don't see your forehead. We don't see your bald head. We only see your bald head when you start destroying lives like you destroyed mine, when you're harassing people, when you make books about our wives to harass them and to stalk them, and when you destroy couples and stuff. I don't know why you did this. I read a couple of your books. Some of them are very nice. Some of them are amazing. Some of them I thought they were legit. I thought that you really were trying to help couples to be in a good terms with each other. But most of them, they were like UFC mocking people, and you fighters, you think just because you fight, you think everyone has to fight or have to have the same shape of body as you, and then you walk and then you push your energy towards us, and then you use children to mock us and to stalk and to provoke us by what you could do, by punching people in the street, by swinging at people, by scaring people with your presence and with your body. Any one of us, if we didn't got robbed and if we didn't got a stab in the back, we would look just same like you. I started the same. All of us, when we are children, we are all the same. But in the middle of the road, you start changing that by your own racism and your prejudice, your own differences that you have in yourself. And then when you cannot make it anymore, you all get into a new bubbles, and then you start sending your scam, your disgusting visions of life into the victim, like you did to me. I saw everything. I can close my eyes. Probably you did this because you used me as a server, and then many of your people or your children, your wives and everybody, you guys could not take this much riches, and instead of giving away, you just took me as your Christ, and then you download all your visions into me. I know everything. I know how to everything from United States, from the 1999 until the very day today. You start destroying my life in 2013. 1999, I went to the United States. From 2000 until 2005, I studied English. In 2005 to 2000 something, I think it was 2010, I was from FedEx and Corporate Express and UP and Office Depot stuff journey. By that time, you were building the internet. You were building LinkedIn. When I used to work in FedEx, you used to sell Yahoo Actions, which they invited me. It used to cost $5,000 to buy a Yahoo Action. I didn't get interested because I thought it was another scam. Yahoo wasn't even this hot. And I was more into like FedEx route. I was trying to prepare myself to buy a route because I was happy. I did not, but I did not know that the folks were making this. You were taking over church and people, human bodies, and you were trying to control human bodies and human actions. Just because you are Orthodox, you want everyone Orthodox and to look the same, to walk the same, to wear the same clothes, to do everything the same. I did not know this. If I knew this, I would be more cynical to keep my life and my existence. It's just like I am clever. I'm clever, but that's not the word I was trying to look. We call eclectical. I don't know how to say it. It's called eclectical. Eclectical is someone that it's like I can blend in anywhere. If you don't push me 24/7, I can blend in anywhere. I'm used to being in a calm state of mind, a calm atmosphere. That the police conversation, the police material was so deep, and not in a sexual way of speaking, but so deep that I could not even understand. So I prefer to live in a regular life instead of trying. Today I feel like I'm the police chief, because the police is like, just what is it that you're talking about? What is it that you're moving? What is it that you're creating or doing? Like, look at your visual art. It's embarrassing. You stole my image. You cared about the size of my penis to try to surpass me, to overcome it, to be better than me, and present yourself better than me because you think you're better than me. You made sure that I didn't finish school, which is still, I'm still surpassing you, whatever. You might know about names of guns and everything, but I'm way far away from you. And even if you steal my ideas from books and whatever I might desire to do in the future, I still have physicians out there that in their hearts or in their conscious, in their manly conscious, in their honest, innocent conscious, they know that you're stealing. That's not. It doesn't come from you. It doesn't come from me. It's come from 1903. Just print. There is even like a trademark phrase that our grandfather left us. So moving on. So enough about the Batman stuff. I thought that I was going to write that, so but I guess not. So enough with Batman. Enough with the art books and stuff. So excuse me. Sequelas. It might be sequelas, or it might be just because I want some water and there's no cumin to bring me water. You talk about jobs. Where's my cumin? So there's another book I'm reading here. It's called All About Birds. I want to teach you something. When you look at me, you might be like, oh, this guy's so stupid. Look at his dog. Look how he looks, and this and that. I want you to understand. I went through a lot of misunderstanding with people. Words like when you know something, it's bad for you. When you don't know something, you're always full of surprises. People are always giving you surprises. Everything's a surprise. The world is beautiful. When you learn something new, you get blessed. You feel good. You feel like, oh, I just learned something today and stuff. But when you know so much, when you claim to know so much, it's just like sad, because you're always expecting other things. For example, when you hear the word birds, before I used to hear the word birds, I would think about my childhood. There was a little bird that used to follow me everywhere I used to go when I was a child. He's very tiny and his beak is very little, but his appearance is so amazing. He waits when the atmosphere is so calm. I know because I used to read books when I was like children books when I was little, and the books used to teach me this. And this bird, he only come around and try to face me. He faces me so weird. It felt like almost like a soulmate bird. But he only comes around when everything's calm, when you can feel water, when you can feel the air and everything else. My stalkers and my demons and my thought whispers and crews that are trying to destroy and change my personality always say something like this: why don't you write books then? It's so stupid that I even know their own phrases. Their vocabulary is so limited that even their phrases I already record. But moving on here, so that was a little bird that he used to come around. Very cute little bird. He's very like little chubby, but very tiny, little big, very thin. And then he only comes around when it's very nice, like those afternoons when you think like, wow, what an afternoon, you know, everything's quiet, everything's like stopped, you feel air, you feel the air blowing and stuff. So I used to think about him. Now when I hear about like someone say about bird, I used to think about like men coding and stuff, Delta and stuff, and army codes and stuff. Many things I have to study still that just to get to know, or the you know like there's codes in Portuguese about this code is called bird, and I'm always thinking about money and stuff. So it's difficult when you know something and when you don't. For the people that are out there, they are models and body bodybuilding and stuff. What is he talking about? I'm talking about carbon and catalogs and websites that and slow internet that only Americans can have a really fast internet. And if you have tried to get internet faster in Brazil, you get caught anyways. And if you try to flee, you start hearing our thoughts through like antennas to everywhere. Like you actually keeping people as their slave, as your slaves, and you block life with John. The name is John. That's how you block life. You're cock blockers. You're marriage blockers. You're job blockers. You're school blockers. You're sex blockers. You are dating blockers. You are all this. You didn't block me before because you know I would confront you, and you just want to steal from me quietly. That's why you did it. And to keep on thought suggestion and try to drive someone still stay hidden. You could not expose yourself. Now that I'm in Brazil, I see you better. So going back here to the subjects, I'm gonna stop talking about like I kind of stopped talking about like Princess Elizabeth, and I stopped talking about like Prince William. I only got to know Prince William when I was back in Brazil. Kind of, I knew his life. I knew he exists, but I did not know anything about him. You know, I never knew him like really to say like, oh, I love him so much. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna buy shoes just like him. I'm gonna walk. I never knew it. You know, so I stopped talking about it. But I know he does things in here and there to change our lives. I know that they raise an eyebrow and then you lose a job. They make a weird face towards someone else, and then you lose a car, and then you lose an opportunity. A woman, she turns you off. She says someone curses or something drops. I know they do stuff like this, and it's funny because when I was young, I used to study about like we call etiquette, like you know the things that we might do and not do wrong. Etiquette is so hilarious because unless you're rich, why would you do that? You know, of course you don't want to eat and live like a pig, but unless if you're rich, you're constantly on time and clock. How are you going to be eating and tasting your food and caring about napkins and which way and which direction the knife or the spoon is if you don't have the time for it? You're always constantly serving someone else. Whatever I try to create, there's always a king about it. If I go run a table and wait table, and then they put like a professional guy from a circus to wait table and then surpass me, and then they put a prostitute blonde with a satanic smile in top of the logo saying like, oh, you can never surpass me, I'm the owner of you. Whatever you try to do, I'm gonna put a king to be better than you, and then I'm gonna fuck him and many others, and then you're gonna just masturbate and be like that for the rest of your life because I'm a fucking old nasty satanic cougar, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's how I see internet. Then we have like fake police. They are nice. There's the police that they're hot. Some women out there, they're hot, but the police, it's a product of like a NASA product. Because women don't have respect. Women don't have respect from the men, which is pretty sad. I don't know if I would go through a lot of things with women once again, but it's sad when I see people hurting men, hurting women. When people punch women, that really hurt me. One time I was traveling trying to get jobs. I was in Curitiba because when I was young, the place used to be amazing, heaven, looks like heaven. But now it's full of drug dealers. Everything's beat up. So last time when I went there to try to make a living there, to try to find heaven again, everywhere I go, they put a couple next to me so that they can experience things and then learn from me, from what I'm gonna do. So that's what they are doing to me now. So I was in Curitiba. There was a lot of drug dealers going on. A lot of drug dealers, a lot of tattoo stuff, a lot of scams. And I was just trying to rent a place to make a living in a bar, in a prostitute bar, which they're kind of my friend and stuff. And like I said, I think they have a problem with their own word of prostitute. So I'm gonna try to make a new word for them. My wives. I'm gonna call them my wives. Okay? No, not my wives. My girlfriends. I'm gonna say girlfriends. So they rent a place for my girlfriends, and to rent place, there's a bars that my girlfriends work on, so I was living by that. Then there was a guy in there, and he beat a girl really hard. They started an argument, and then they started arguing and started hitting the wall so that I could hear, and then get involved. So I hold myself, and I'm not gonna get involved. So I heard him start beating her. I thought they were making a theater or something. It was a play, and probably they would open the door and be like, oh, you were part of a play and stuff. I was actually studying about my stalkers and people. They stalk me here and there. So that's why I go far away to study about these stalkers. Like, for example, right now, I'm being stalked by so many strangers and people that I never met before. They're stalking me too. And if they speak to me, they send a hitting message in the street when I'm in the metro, when I'm in the bus. They try to put me in fights so that I can hurt somebody and go to jail in Brazil, so that they can learn from me in jail and everywhere else. That's how they did to me when I was a child. That's why they killed my lawyer when I was in Brazil. They killed my lawyer. The guy that got me out of jail when I was very young. They took me to jail for like child crimination stuff. They killed the man. So this guy beat up a girl in front of me, like next to me. The girl was pretty hard. She was all purpose really hard. He really beat her up. I didn't do a shit. I didn't do anything. I was like, this is not my business. But for me, it's difficult. If I'm in the street and I see a guy beating a girl, I probably would get involved. I would get involved. I mean, it's sad. I don't want to be involved in that. But if you're hitting a girl, man, I think I'll beat you. I'll beat you. I'll beat you up. You know, oh, you can't hurt me. I do jiu-jitsu. I do fight and stuff. Trust me. If you beat a girl in front of me, I'll get you down. I'll put you down. I mean, I won't be like going to every single fight on the street and like you ghetto women all the time. When I pass by, you guys start arguing just because I'm passing by you trying to, no. But if you're really literally hitting a girl just to hit, just to prove something, I don't know. It depends. I have, like, for example, the girl, I didn't do anything because she was pissing me off before you beat her, before he beat her. She pissed me off. She was making a lot of noise. I need to wake up early. She was making noise, sending hitting messages. So when he beat her, I'm like, hey, there you have it. So moving on here. So I don't know if you like my telemarket thing. I'm gonna finish. So it's a lot of characters for them. I developed other voices as well. I have this one. I have so many others. Don't tempt me. Don't push me. I have a lot of other voices for you. Am I trying to become like a Hollywood actor? I don't think so. One, because I don't have description. I don't know if I'm gonna be just sitting in a set with a woman that probably she's from porn, and which I really love the way they invite us. To tell you the truth, from porn, I think I would do it. Me, myself, I think I would do it. Depends. It depends how they will record, if the guy is not gonna just be recording my asshole. But if they just make like a scene, especially if someone that I really love, it would be amazing. Like the movie Apple, that the guy just did lots of scenes with one girl, and that's me right there. But it's not like a girl falling through a sand and stuff. None of that. No. I really like more romantic stuff. Sweet 16, the best for me. I'm not saying that I'm gonna be a part of it, but if someday you decide to involve me, you know. When I was in San Francisco, California, I met a porn star. She used to be my client. I used to have her phone number. I used to take her everywhere. She was rich though. She used to pay the cab. She used to be like, oh, let her run. She would go buy stuff, and the cab would just be running. at the end of the day would be almost $1,000. Her fares was great. It was a great time. They used to make a liar conference. The Oracle was always in the city. Americans used to approach me in the street and give me stuff. There was one day a lady. I always want to bring this up because people accuse me here and there ghosts and demons. So I want to clear that up. One time a lady, she left me. She left her little purse, very little, and when it was like this, and then like four fingers like this, and a little bit more. I didn't see it, so I took a lady with a little girl and then dropped her in a Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39, and then I went off. So I had to gas the cab because I need to go back, and I had a lot of things. So I took out the fares. It was 5 o'clock. It was busy every time. It was busy every day. And the end of the day, it was like almost like 8 o'clock at night or something. I was thinking of leaving. In San Francisco, everyone was very honest. So the guy is like, "Oh, you got a person here." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So he gave it to me. At first, like for example, like I didn't have the brain that I have right now. I always thought to myself, like I said, I did not know that the guy knew what I was thinking or anyone was thinking. People were sharing what they were thinking. So I don't think people know what I'm thinking, but I know by suggestions they do. What I'm thinking, it's what I'm thinking, but people they assume what I'm thinking based of what they think of me or by the judge of their racism and their prejudice. That's not what I'm thinking. When it's so synchronized with God in life, and when I think of beta and robotic in life and everything that I want to achieve someday, or maybe I'm gonna die and someone else will achieve, then the thought get precise and go like, "Oh yeah, that's it."
WhatsApp.
But when it's just like people assuming my thoughts now. So story short, I opened the purse. It was like $400 in it. There was no document. There's no way to find the woman. So I hold it. So I went right back there. And then I think it was like this. I think I went back there. And then I looked for her, and I went after her. I went to the hotel thing, kind of like passed by, looked for her, asked people like, I don't know. So where am I going to turn that back to the thing? No, she won't know where to look for, and the guy is gonna keep the money. So I kept the money. So because I kept that $400, that was like many zillion years ago. Probably the reason why they're bringing this up, because someone might want to be like, make me look bad. That's why the suggestion came in. But because I'm free speech, I'm just speaking, talking about it. Probably the United States is hacking my history of life, and that's why this topic came in. So whatever. So then I kept this money. So I went to the bank and then I deposit. The only time when I learned that Apple and fake Christian women, especially Brazilians, and Walt Disney's satanic prostitute little girls were in my mind, studying my actions and trying to move me around, was when I was in Sao Paulo. That was the only time when it really hits me. I'm like, whoa, these people are manipulating human thoughts. They are scamming. They are scamming human thoughts. Because probably what I think is that in the future, if it's not already there, women will take over the world. Men will be just a service, will only be black men with huge dicks to airports, everywhere, places that women have like sex fantasies, they're already doing. So I'm gonna stop because the video got really long right now, and probably if I tell what I really think of what they're gonna do, it's gonna be very different, and that's not the reason. Just want to send a last message to the guy that introduced me to business. I'm still waiting for you. If you want to get in touch, I think we still have we still hot though. If you take longer enough, pretty soon they will surpass, and then it's not gonna be hot anymore. Okay, so take care, everyone. Peace.